Colorado lost to Nebraska 28-10. Huskers dominated from start to finish, jumped out to a 28-0 lead. Last week, Coach Prime told the home crowd team was one step closer to reaching a bowl game. And he said in January his team was definitely going to be a contender in the college football playoff. Saturday night, the second game, it did not look good. Either offense or defensive line played well. The running game still is non-existent, 22 carries, 16 yards. The Buffs in the second half, they did get on the scoreboard. They scored 10 points. They lose 28-10. Ocho, I don't know how much of this game you saw.
I saw it. I would listen.
Go ahead.
Honestly, Unc, I felt watching the offseason, watching the recruiting process, seeing some of the players that left and some of the players that were coming, my thoughts had completely changed on me thinking the Colorado Buffs were going to look a little different. Now, the important part for them in being able to compete with the schools that are better would be the interior, the offensive line and the defensive line. And after watching today's game, and from the beginning, from the start of the game, when the Colorado Buffaloes were on offense, and number 0, whoever number 0 was, remember the movie The Program? Remember the movie The Program and Lattimore? And to watch him dominate the offensive line like that, it kind of reminded me of, okay, now we're right back at square one like we were last year. That's what it reminded me of. So the things that I thought were fixed and the issues in order for Colorado to be able to compete at the highest level and contend, I think we're right back at square one based off what I saw tonight, offensively and defensively. There's no reason Nebraska, well, there is a reason Nebraska was able to run down the throat of the Colorado defense. Right down their throat. Why? Because the interior, the defensive line, is stout enough to be able to compete with the better teams. So there's still issues that need to be fixed, and it's right there, the meat potatoes, the inside, the interior.
I agree. I had concerns last week, and I told you I had concerns that I saw some of the same things that I saw last year that caused me to be concerned. And everybody, it's one game. You see how you speak bad about the black coaches? No, you see how I speak true. Now I see why politicians get elected, because people like being lied to. When I tell you the truth that Colorado can't run the football, just like they couldn't run it last year. They couldn't stop the run, just like they couldn't stop it last year. They couldn't protect Shedeur, just like they couldn't last year. He's holding on to the ball too long, just like he did last year. How did you not look at that first game and see a lot of what happened last year? How could you see it had not reared its head? And I'm not saying that North Dakota State, that's a football team, and we're going to talk about Notre Dame, how they lost to Northern Illinois, and we see Alabama was in a nip-tuck ball game late in the fourth quarter and then blow it open. So I'm not saying that. But when you look at an FCS team and they're having success running the football, they're having success putting pressure on your quarterback, what happens when you step up in level of competition? When you go and you face teams in the Big 12, what do you think they're going to do? Because they got legit D and O-line. And that's a concern. That's a concern of mine coming into the season. And I'm still
I have a question. Now, from an offensive standpoint, I think I'm not a coach by no means, but I'm just saying, based off what I've seen, and you said Shedeur holding the ball a little too long. If you have an offensive line, if you have a defensive line that is continuously sacking your quarterback and applying pressure the way they are, I'm just saying, from what I saw, I think they should have went to the quick game a little bit more. Stop spreading it out so wide, condense the formations, putting players in motion, having crossing routes so Shedeur can get the ball out of his hands and find some of the rhythm in that way to get the passing game going, instead of having him in shotgun or having him drop back or anything over 5 or 7 step drop. Just hurry up and get the ball out fast and probably get a drive and try to get a drive going just to get the quarterback in rhythm with the receivers. But I mean, listen, I didn't know. I know Nebraska is good. I think they looked a little better they looked a little better because Colorado wasn't able to make the adjustments necessary to compete with them. Even if they players a little better interior, in the interior. I could be wrong.
But look, Nebraska is better. Last year was Matt Rule's first year. So normally the second year, you get the players that you really want, because a lot of times you gotta keep some holdovers. Even though it's a transfer portal, guys are gonna leave and some guys are gonna come. But you need to get your guys in there, the kind of guys that you want. The offense, the defense, the type of player that you want. So it normally takes you a year or two to get your type players in there. But the Colorado went for it on fourth downs and they lost yards.
As a former NFL player, I know a thing or two about high performance, and that's why I drive the BMW 7 Series. This car has everything I need. It's big enough, comfortable enough, and luxurious enough to meet even my high expectations. When I'm behind the wheel of the BMW, I'm not just driving a car, I'm driving legacy. What I love most is the precision engineering, cutting-edge technology, and unmatched style. Whether it's spacious interior, the powerful engine, or the smooth ride, BMW makes sure every detail is on point. I trust BMW to deliver the ultimate driving experience, and I know you will too. So why wait? Head over to BMWUSA.com. Check out models like the sporty X3, the all-electric i4. Build your dream car today and join me in experiencing luxury and performance that only the ultimate driving machine can offer.
They lost yard on third down. It was 3rd and 1. Now it's 3rd and 2, and they lose again. Now it's 4th.
Right.
And now they get stopped. They can't. 22 carries, 16 yards. And my thing is, look, the offensive line isn't very good, and they told us the offensive line was going to be better. They told us the defensive line is going to be better. They still can't consistently rush the quarterback, Ocho, without sacrificing their back end and bringing extra people. They can't stop the run consistently. They get gashed. Hence, they had 35 carries, $149, and 2 touchdowns. The other team, Colorado, had 22 carries, 16 yards. When you can't run the football, you can't stop the run, you can't pressure the quarterback, you can't protect your quarterback.
Tell me how you can't. You can't. Out of everything you just named, you have to be good at least 3 of them. At least 3 of them. You got to be good.
So what is Colorado good at right now, Ocho? Let's be honest. We can have an honest conversation, because nobody wants time to do well better than I do. Because I know him on a personal level, and I know how much he's invested of his time. I know how much this means to him. So nobody wants him to do better than I do. But when you look at this, when you look at Colorado, and I need you to be objective, because I know a lot of us in the chat, we want time to do well. We want Coach Prime to do well. Y'all call him Coach Prime, I call him Time. But we want him to do well. Tell me one thing they're good at.
Right now, as of week 2, based on what we saw, I mean, not much, honestly. I mean, they have the tools, they have the tools, they have the talent at the skill position, but where it matters most, and you know that. You know what it matters most in college, the interior, your offensive line, your defensive line. If you can't stop the run, it starts up front. If you can't protect your quarterback, it starts up front. The skill position is where the money is, and now we have that.
Right,
we have that, and I'm talking about we. They're being exposed. They're being exposed because they lack depth and they lack. I keep using the same context and using meat and potatoes because that's the only thing I could think of. That's what it takes. You take some hogs. You need some hogs up front on both sides of the ball, and that's where that's where they're lacking.
You do. You got to be able to look. You got to be able to protect your quarterback, and you got to be able to pressure the quarterback. And sometimes it's okay to throw the ball away. It's okay to throw the ball away and make it 2nd and 10. It's okay to throw the ball away and make it 3rd and 7. I know it's going to look bad on your stats, but look, at this point in time, there's nothing. Completion percentage is not, they're not going to elevate Shannon Sanders up or down because they're evaluating him, said that's a smart play.
Right.
He didn't take a sack. He didn't take an unnecessary hit by throwing the ball away late.
Yeah.
Just throw the ball away. Throw it away. It's okay. If I'm looking at Shador, I'm looking at how well he processes information. I'm looking at how well he goes from 1 to 2 to 3, if possible. check down, throw the ball away. That's what I'm looking at. Oh, he got a 75% completion percentage versus a 65. Okay, where's the 10% drop off? Oh, that was a good throwaway right there, Ocho. Avoided the sack, avoided the loss, kept him in field goal range. I'm processing the entirety of the game. I'm not looking at no completion percentage because I'm not going to elevate him or downgrade him based on that. I will elevate or downgrade him based on the decisions that he make and what I can say he should have known better than to take that sack. He should have thrown that ball away. He knew better than Ocho.
Yeah.
It's a zone coverage.
Yeah.
With that pick six, first of all, the corner doesn't sink because there's nobody going deep. He saw the guy just run the stop route. He see the inside guy run a stop route. So why would he backpedal? Now you in the middle of the field and you gonna throw way outside. You can't
listen for one, unless the corner is way off at 7 yards and you staring him down at the snap of the ball and he's backpedaling. That's the only time you throw to the wide side of the field. You don't throw. That's cardinal rule number one. As a quarterback, you don't throw to the wide side of the field. You should know that.
Ocho. But here's the thing. Why would the corner backpedal when the guy that he's over
it's no
runs
threat.
A stop route and the guy on the inside
it's no
runs a hook route? So why am I backpedaling? Ain't nobody there to threaten me. I'm just gonna sit. Now, and I'm saying to myself, if he throw this ball,
I'm going to get that.
I got a reservation for 6.
I'm going to get that. And matter of fact, you got to think about it too. You got to think about down and distance. What's the chances of actually calling a go route off the goal line? You go straight to quick game anyway. So as a DB, your defensive coordinator probably ordering your ear telling you, listen, something coming out quick, slant. Yeah, it got to. It got to.
And first of all, I know you're not going to run anything deep because your O-line can't hold up. And you guys don't like the max protect. I'm looking at the formation. You can't max protect from that formation. So now I already know.
Damn, man.
It's something quick.
And listen, I mean, see, for us or for you, I mean, me watching the game on the plane, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? They can't block for Shedeur. So let's get him out the shotgun. But if we are going to keep him in the shotgun, condense the formations so it doesn't take the route so long to process. Because the dude, they get there so fast. So I'm thinking just go to the quick game and get a drive going and get them D linemen a little bit tired because they just, as soon as he drop back, as soon as he get the ball,
Ocho.
They on his head.
Ocho, you know why they like that? Because I know you can't run the football. You ran the ball 22 times for 16 yards. That's negative yards. So where are you going? I'm going to attack the quarterback. I'll play the run on the way to the quarterback. I also know your line is leaky and your quarterback likes to hold on to the ball. You can't run it. You can't pass protect, and your quarterback likes to hold on to the ball. I'm coming to get him every time.
Ears pinned all the way back.
Run.
Ears pinned all the way back.
I'm not even. The D-line coaches say, don't even look here. If they run it, that's on me. Go hunt the quarterback. Now, flip it around. The Buffs on defense.
They can't get no pressure, Unc. They can't get no pressure.
None.
I mean, you got to have one dog. I mean, either a D tackle that can cause some type of confusion and some type of disruption of the offense and the timing of it, or have somebody on the edge that you have to account for. I mean, Nebraska didn't have to account for anybody on defense. You didn't have to account for anybody.
You got to have a D tackle that can collapse the pocket inside, Ocho, or you need to have an edge presence that can force him up so your defense, your D tackles can get him. They don't have anybody. They can't collapse the pocket from the inside. They don't have an edge. They don't have twitch on the edge. So now you see the quarterback just
all day.
They just don't have Ocho. They just don't have the pieces. Let's be honest. They got a quarterback.
Yeah.
They got a wide receiver. Horn is a nice two receiver.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yes,
He's
sir.
good. He's a good player. He ain't Trav, and they got Shedeur. But they don't have enough pieces to contend at that level.
So
they don't. And I don't know. Look, he done tried it. You know, he gets the transfer portal. They brought in 45 guys. A lot of guys left. But you got to get, look, if you want to hunt, you got to get the right kind of dog. It's as simple as that. And I don't know how many. Look, I grew up in the country, so I know about hunting. You have a bloodhound, you have a blue tick, you have a black and tan, you have a red bone. Hey, you have a tree and walker. You have different types of dogs to do different types of things. We have bulldogs, we have shepherds to catch hogs. But we have a specific type of dog when we want to track deer or we want to hunt raccoon. And then you have a different type of dog when you start doing pheasant. You have pointers that'll go into the bush and they'll stand at attention to let you know he in that bush.
Yeah.
They won't move because they don't want him to shoot until you're ready. But he'll let you know. Right now, see, you don't have dogs to hunt. So it's really that
how long
simple.
Does how do you say it? You said it took Matt Rule 1 or 2 years to get it together. How long will it take Prime to be able to get the type of dogs that's necessary to be able to compete with the Nebraskas, be able to compete with the North Dakota State? I mean, they won, but they didn't win convincingly.
Look, you have to understand, and people look at Coach Saban, how soon he turned that around. But Alabama was a team that players wanted to go to anyway. So it was really they won a couple of games, and now all of a sudden they're gonna start coming back, Ocho. It's kind of like Miami. Miami went through that lull. Hell, all the players from Florida, they started going to Alabama. They going to Ohio State. They going to Michigan. They going Georgia. Okay, Miami start winning. They start getting some of those guys back. Well, Colorado, it's been a while since they had a program. It's not like Coach McCartney's CU Buffs when they used to be, when they had Cordell, and they had Westbrook, and they had Alpha Williams and Bieniemy and JJ Flanagan, and they had Christian Fourier, they had Canavis McGee, they had Deion Figures. They used to have a squad, and they kept getting them. They was going down to Houston. They was going to Colorado. They was going to California and getting those guys. Well, it's hard. It's going to take him longer to probably get the type of player. So where it took Matt Rule maybe 2 years, possibly 3, it might take Prime 3 to 4 years to get the type of dog that he wants to go hunting with.
Damn.
But you look at Alabama. When Alabama went that, you look at what they put out. Look at all the offensive linemen that go first round. Look at all their defensive linemen. Look at the Quincy Williams and the Barmores. You look at all those guys. You look at those linebackers.
Could you imagine though? Imagine if Prime had those type of individuals at his helm right now, early, where you didn't have to wait, 3 or 4 years to get those type of players in your program.
Look, I understand what time wants to get proven players, guys that's in the portal. Guys that's in the portal, they've already in college. So they already are familiar with a college schedule. They know what study hall, they know training, they know practice, they know to go to class. But I don't know if I'm going to weigh so heavily. I still think you have to go get some high school players. Excuse me, Ocho. You got to get some.
But they're not going to. But high school players aren't going to be able to contribute right now, right away.
Yeah, hey, you see that 17-year-old Alabama?
Boy.
Yeah. He's 7. Ocho, he's supposed to be a senior in high school. He's a two-time Mr. He's a two-time Mr. Alabama in football. He said, "Hell,
but you got to understand, man. You got to understand that's a special talent. Some players are. Some players, how do you say it? Not ahead of the curve. I don't know. Oh, he's ahead of the curve from an athletic standpoint. Yeah, well, he's able to go to Alabama and fit right in, like he's been playing in college the past 2-3 years.
That guy from what's the receiver number 4 from Ohio State?
He from the crib.
He's another one.
He from the crib from Chaminade. Oh, he the real deal. Jeremiah Smith. He's ahead of the curve.
Yep.
You saw him hit his head off the goalpost today on a little stick route.
Oh yeah. He called that that little slant, that little Seattle route.
Out of there.
Split the seam.
Gone. He's ahead of the curve.
Gone. Yeah, but it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. And the thing is that are the Buffs gonna be patient?
Ooh, I don't like the way you say that. Now, when you say the Buffs, you mean upstairs? Are they gonna be patient?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you don't think it would come down to that, though, huh? I mean, I think
Ocho, this is what in life isn't a bottom line business. In sports, look,
yes,
I
sir.
got a menu, Ocho. This is my menu.
Yeah.
At Club Shay Shay. The only thing I serve, dubs and L's. I only serve wins and losses. Because that's all it's about in pro sports. All that other stuff it's dressing. Win, did you win? Did you lose? That's all they want to know.
I mean,
they fired Larry Coker from Miami after going, 8-4. The guy won a national championship, lost it, should have won back-to-back national championship because that wasn't pass interference. But anyway, they threw the flag.
Ohio State game.
And they fired him, Ocho. I just think the thing is, sometimes some time is a product of his own success. They see how quickly he turned around Jackson State. And it's like, okay, we can do that. And early on, he had great success. But I personally think it's probably a 3. That's Colorado, as bad as it's been, it's probably a 3 to 4 year deal.
Do you think administration understand that? You think the people in positions of power above Prime's head understand that it's a 3 or 4 year deal to be able to get the type of players you want to get in there, to be able to look at the menu and see that the wins are starting to come on that side of the column?
Well, here's the thing. When I look at it, Ocho, I can stomach losing if I think we're improving.
Yeah.
Listen to what I said now. I can stomach losing if I think we're improving. When you look at the Buffs and you look at it objectively, the D-line isn't better. The O-line isn't better. They don't run the ball better. They don't pressure the quarterback better. They got 2 highly skilled players, the quarterback and the wide receiver. But I don't care how great your quarterback is. If I beat him up,
yes, sir,
I can neutralize it. And then I can throw on everybody else. I mean, just like time. I ain't got to prove how tough I am to try to throw at Travis Hunter. I can just go pick on everybody else.
Damn.
But that's the thing with coaching. That's why I never want to be a coach, Ocho, because I don't get to directly control what happens. I do the best job I can of coaching the players and letting them know, okay, this is what we expect going to happen. But at the end of the day, once I get out there, it's out of my hands.
I don't like that, man. That's the part I don't like. Is that you could listen. Think about the time you put in. Think about the hours. Think about all the film study that they put in. All the work throughout the week, preparing for Nebraska, breaking film down. Having the music blasting, the music that you're gonna hear once you at their stadium, playing as you practice, so you're used to it. And then to go out there and all the work, all the time, all the film you put in, and the results don't show up. Like as a coach, that would bother me, which is why I also couldn't coach. But no, man.
It's tough, man. Hell, being a leader on the team and having to coach mofos up. And that's really not my job to make sure when guys come in and out of the huddle, Ocho, my first, hey, you know what you got? Because if you hot now. But not with 1, with 2. So, I'm making sure, hey, I'm telling John, even though I know he knows, I'm going to remind him, hey, 7, I'm your check down, I'm your hot. And sometimes he's asking, where's my I got you. Normally, because I was always closest to him, more times than not, I was going to be the hot guy. But I also knew, was it going to take 1? Or if he had empty protection, all it takes is 1 to make us hot. If we got a back
2
in the backfield, it's going to take 2 because TD can take 1, and the other we're hot off the other one. But it's I never wanted to coach. I understand people that do want to get in coaching. Time has always wanted to coach. Even when he first got out of the league, he was coaching his sons. We went to the Hall of Fame. He brought a boatload of kids up to play in tournaments. But that wasn't my thing. That's his thing. But he'll get it turned around.